Hey guys, what's up? So, in this lesson, we will analyze one of the biggest challenges of our time. In fact, it is not merely a challenge but a threat to our very survival as a species on Earth. You guessed it right, we are talking about climate change, which is a catastrophe in making. It is climate change and global warming. These are the two things. Because of one thing, the other is happening. Okay, global warming and climate change, they go hand in hand. So let us discuss with starting with these two ancient proverbs. So these are the two statements which capture the essence of the problem and the spirit of the solution we have to take. The first is an ancient proverb saying we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. So can you see, just imagine the kind of awareness people had even in the antiquity regarding nature and its resources. While the second is the statement by the Brundtland Commission, which was given in the report Our Common Future in 1987 on sustainable development. It says that sustainable development is development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Okay, so this is an important concept which you need to know, the problem of climate change denial. Over the last two decades, with the exceptional level of work done by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that is IPCC, it has been conclusively proven that climate change is happening. It is a reality. There is no denying it. And it is happening due to man made reasons. It is anthropogenic. There is still a significant section of the political spectrum which simply refuses to believe it. The problem is that on the one hand, science is showing that our position is getting increasingly desperate by the day and we are heading towards irreversible catastrophic changes. On the other hand, there are US President Donald Trump, he made the statement that climate change is a Chinese hoax to hurt US economies. So it is a very major problem. As such, people are increasingly coming into power across the world and they dismantle the efforts of previous administration to promote renewable energy and they cut back on carbon emissions. Like they prevent the cutback on carbon emissions by reducing dependence on coal and thermal power plants. So this is not happening. So earlier government were promoting renewable energy, they were cutting back on carbon emissions, they were reducing dependence on coal and thermal power plants, while these leaders will just make it the condition will be reverted to the origin. Now, five axioms of climate change. So these are the five axioms, as I say, of climate change. These are the basic truths that you must remember regarding climate change. The only thing constant about climate change is its change. Okay, so climate change is natural plus continuous. Now, Earth's geological age is placed at nearly 4.5 billion years ago, and throughout its geological history, the Earth's climate has undergone numerous changes with respect to its climate. Many warm times, like the Archean times, and ice ages such as the Carboniferous Ice Age and the recent Pleistocene Ice Age. So, it is naturally occurring. Hence, it is said that the only thing constant about climate change is its change. It is a natural and continuously and recurring phenomena. It happens throughout our history. Now, the interesting thing to know about current climate change is not that it is happening, but that it is happening due to processes and changes which are initiated by a single species on Earth, which is unprecedented. It never ever happened before. So, the window of action is closing rapidly, according to IPCC 2014. So, this statement was made by R.K. Pachauri as head of IPCC, as emphasis on the point that if we do not take immediate drastic step, the climate change will reach the tipping point and it will become irreversible. So the last point highlights the situation after 2008 crisis. So you can see that continuous warming trends since 18th century and 15 of the 16 hottest year ever recorded have been since 2000, and all the reasons are anthropogenic, that is human induced, and efforts under UNFCCC remains inadequate. So after 2008 crisis, when the funding for climate change initiatives dried up completely as the global economy went into recession. Only recently has the global sentiment regarding greater need of funds returned, but the political sentiments and the anti-globalization forces are making any international cooperation under UNFCCC on the issue very difficult. So you can understand that efforts under UNFCCC are inadequate. Okay. So five burning questions are like, what is it, why worry, how to prevent, and what has been done till now. So what is climate change? So average temperature of Earth is 15 degrees Celsius with short and long term variations. So IPC defines it any change in climate over a period of time due to natural variability or human activity. It is as plain and simple as that. So it is essentially variability of climatic properties like temperature, pressure over an extended period of time, decades. So it is also important to know that global warming, it forms a subset within the climate change, and it is the increase in the average surface temperature of Earth due to effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide emission from burning fossil fuels, and as we see, the current average temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. So this increase is because of global warming. So the causes behind climate change in the three levels of hierarchy include, so first is the solar system level, where the interaction between sun and earth changes. Okay, so it is expressed through Minkowski cycle, which correlates earth's movement in its orbit with the changes in climatic patterns. So the correlation between incoming solar radiation and the time is created, and it is studied how the radiation and has changed over a period of time. Okay, so the sunspot cycles refers to the change in the amount of radiation that the sun emits due to some changes within it. For example, in 1998, the sunspot cycles were the reason behind the increase in Earth's temperature patterns. The second level is the Earth system itself. Okay, so that is the activities such as volcanic eruption, volcanism, etc. It covers the atmosphere with ash, dust, particles, which prevent the sun's radiation from reaching the earth, and thus it will lead to cooling. The explosion of Mount Tambora in 1815 caused the year 1816 to be the year without summers. There were no summers at all. Anthropogenic causes have been obviously extremely important after the development of steam engine. Okay, so that is also very very important, and the industrial revolution that followed. So a lot of technological thing happened. So a lot of stores of carbon which were deposited in earth over millions of years, they were taken out and they were burned in 300 years. So obviously that led to a lot of imbalance. For example, an example of Amazon rainforest, which was losing forest at the rate of 30,000 kilometers square in 2004. Can you imagine? To compare, the entire forest area of India is just 7 lakh square kilometer. So that is only 24 times of what the Amazon was losing per year. So the rate of deforestation is finally like down to 5,000 square kilometer, but it is like still higher than the entire state of our Goa. The urban heat islands are another phenomena where the rapid urbanization has resulted in significant increase in temperature within the cities compared to the areas around it. So you must read about this topic more about, that is what is urban heat islands. What happens is that every surface on earth has a property called albedo, which means the ability to reflect the incoming solar radiation, and concrete jungles in Delhi, Mumbai, Tokyo, New York, etc. alter the albedo and cause the temperature changes in the city. So Roman, why do we worry? So let's see. Okay, so these were all the important points which you needed to know. So the emissions like agriculture, methane, industry, carbon, CO, NO, SO, greenhouse gases, HFC, deforestation, albedo alteration, wetland reclamation. So the let us see the three spheres of earth. So the three natural spheres are atmosphere. So wetland reclamation has also been one of the causes for this, and let us see what is the impact on why do we need to worry, and its impact on the three natural layers. So the three natural spheres are obviously atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere, which means like in general terms air, land, and water. And the place where all these three come together, it is called the biosphere. It is here that the life becomes possible. So as the air heats up, it can carry greater moisture, and this results in extreme climate events of greater frequency, intensity, typhoons, cyclones, etc. So it essentially means that the cyclones will be much more intense, such as a typhoon Haiyan in Philippines in 2013. Rainfall become more variable, and you can see that the levels has been rising. By 1750 it was 280 ppm, now it is 400. Carbon dioxide levels, which is 40% higher. Same with N2O, which is 20% higher. And see the methane level, they have grown by 150%. That is 2.5 times. When do we wake up? Okay, and in this table you can see the unprecedented levels of increase in greenhouse gases in human history, which, and if it continues to rise, we will go extinct. Okay, now second is hydrosphere. So as the ocean water heats and expands, it will cause an increase in sea levels, and it will threaten the coastal cities of the world. Also, the changes in ocean biogeochemistry will cause problems, especially for marine organisms, and it can cause rapid and massive extinctions, which will significantly threaten the stability of the ecosystems. Now, in lithosphere, the earth has various cycles through which the nutrients and elements such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc., they cycle through and circulate. Now, can you see these cycles? And these cycles again are critical to the survival of life on earth, but these are going to get disrupted. Also, you might have heard about the incidence of forest fires has increased significantly in 2016. India, especially in Uttarakhand and Odisha, saw significant number of forest fires. You must have read about it. Then increased vulnerability of cryosphere in Antarctic ice shelves, loss of wetlands, that is natural stores of carbon, Kuwait Central and Congo Basin, and there is also increase in acidification. So Larsen ice shelf in Antarctica, glaciers of Himalayas, which are all critical parts of our ecosystem, they are under serious threat. Now let us see the impact on anthroposphere. So anthroposphere means where human beings live. A significant part of the issue deals with the impact the climate change will have on the anthroposphere. Anthroposphere essentially means that everything on our surface created artificially by mankind. So let us look at the most critical areas. First is South Asia where we live. So it is potential for serious conflict. Why? Because more than 25% of world's population live in South Asia. So the combined population of Pakistan, India and Bangladesh, just three countries, it is 170 crore. The total world's population is about 730 crore. So you can see it is literally more than one fourth of the entire population, and the young population out of this 170 crore is 100 crore. So this population is really aspirational, they are hungry for resources. So climate change will create a lot of climate refugees, because let's say Bangladesh drowns, so or Mumbai drowns, then there will be a lot of influx from various countries, from various cities into different cities and states of India. So it will create a lot of climate refugees, and climate change will have significant impact on the entire subcontinent through disruption of monsoon cycle. Subsequently, of agriculture will also be disrupted. Food will become a challenge. Food security will become a challenge, and with increasing temperature, there will be a lot of malaria, dengue, mosquito spread, etc. The productivity of food crops like wheat will decline, which will increase the vulnerability of the entire population in the region. And there is a lot of problem with religious extremism and terrorism already, so the whole situation can become very explosive. So this is the reason why it will be detrimental in South Asia. Let us see in Africa. So in Africa, especially the sub-Sahel region, that is sub-Sahara region, it is a very critical area with respect to climate change, because it is very prone to droughts, diseases, desertification, etc. Now let's talk about the advanced economies of North America and Europe. The advanced economies, especially after the 2008 crisis, they have used the global financial crisis as an excuse to not contribute to the global funds and efforts of climate change. And you must be knowing about CBDR. So the concept of CBDR, that is common but differentiated responsibility, which would have made the advanced economies take responsibilities for the historical contribution in the global emission, has been pushed down the order, and the advanced economies have abdicated their responsibilities. They have left it completely. They are saying कि भाई तुम तुम्हारा देखो, हम देख लेंगे. So it is a major matter of concern that the West refuses to make any changes with respect to its consumption patterns, which is highly resource intensive. So though the population is small in the West, the overall share in resource consumption is very high, disproportionately high, 10 times than the some of the developing countries. So what has been done till now? So there are a lot of institutional framework regarding the initiatives on climate change. So first, under the 1992 United Nations Summit, so the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change was created, and this forms the global overarching architecture for actions on climate change. So the Kyoto Protocol in 1997 and Paris Climate Deal were negotiated under this framework in 2015. So these are the important stuff, you should know about it. And the Sustainable Development Goals have also included climate change as its goal, okay, SDGs. And at the national level, we have National Action Plan on Climate Change, okay. So Sustainable Development Goal Agenda 230, you must be knowing about it. So Goal 13 is related to climate change. And in national architecture, National Action Plan on Climate Change, so it was initiated in 2008 to tackle climate change, and initiatives like International Solar Mission, target of 100 gigawatt solar energy capacities, are other major initiatives taken by India to tackle climate change. So we have made commitments on our own. So the situation is precarious, but it still can be reversed. And if you want me to make a video on the various steps which are taken by the government to tackle climate change, let me know in the comment section below. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you for watching this. Have an awesome day.